Hi everyone, this is Crystal, and today I am working on my second COVID-19 insert in my Project Life album for 2020. And this one is going to focus all on the foods and drinks that we are making and enjoying while we're quarantined at home. So this is going to be a 9x12 insert. I have this 9x12 pocket page with all 3x4 pockets. I've just kind of laid out my photos on my desk where I think they're going to go. So it's going to be double-sided. So this will be the front side and this will be the back side. For supplies, I had actually planned to use my stash kit for this. I had pulled out some food-specific things that I thought would work really well. And then I got my June Life Crafted kit from Citrus Twist, which is all about food, all about craving. It's called the Cravings Kit. And how can I not use that, right? I mean, it's perfect for this. So that's what I'm going to be using. I have the Life Crafted kit. I have the digital extras. I have the stamps, the Traveler's Notebook stamp, and the This Is Life stamp set. So yeah, I have lots to play with, and I am just going to try and have some fun.
Okay, so I'm going to start by going through the cards and seeing if there's any that I can use. I know there are some that I want to use, like this one that says craving, and there is one that says let's eat. So I'm just looking through them and finding all of the ones that are kind of food related or that will work with the photos that I have here. And I find those 4. And then I'm going to go to the papers and start pulling some of those to fill in the rest of the spots. So I have that half sheet of one of the 6x8 papers that's kind of a yellow pattern, and I will end up cutting that in half and using it in 2 different places on the page. And you can see I still have a couple empty spaces, so I will go back and pick another 6x8 paper and cut that down to 3x4 and use that to fill in the rest of the spaces. But right now I'm going through the ephemera pack. So this little container is holding the ephemera die cuts that came in the Life Crafted kit, as well as the cut apart sheet, the digital cut apart sheet that you get for free as a subscriber, but is also available in the shop if you're not a subscriber. So it's holding both of those. I'm just going through and picking out really any of them that are relevant to these food photos. So a lot of them I knew had very specific ones that would work, like that pizza night for our pizza photo. There's a taco one for our taco photo. There is a couple coffee specific things that I put on my coffee photos. So it's just perfect for documenting this kind of page. So yeah. Just going through the rest of them, and you can see I have multiples. If you haven't already seen my last video, you may not know that I tried to print and cut the digital cut aparts and struggled a bit, so I ended up with a couple different sheets of them, but that's just fine. They will definitely get used up. What I'm doing right now, this is the tags, the digital tag printable that's in the shop. I really love some of these, and I'm going to end up using, I think, 3 of them on this page. So I've pulled those out. And then I'm just looking through the rest of the embellishments that were in the Life Crafted kit just to get a feel for what else I can use on this page. There were definitely some of the chipboard pieces here that I knew I wanted to use. There's one that has a pizza slice on it, one that has a coffee cup. Those are going to be perfect. And then there's also some of these puffy stickers, but I decided to hold off on adding those until I've started kind of gluing things down a bit more. So nothing is stuck to the page yet, of course, so I'm still just kind of getting a feel for how this is going to work out. Okay, so there is the other sheet of paper I decided to use. It's just a really neutral white paper with a kind of gray plus sign pattern. So that's going to work really well to just add a background to some of these pockets. Okay, so you could see there I added it to the bottom of the back side, and then I moved that other card up, and it just felt more balanced that way. That gray felt it's not a heavy pattern, but it felt heavier than the other card. So I decided to move it to the bottom, and I'm going to add that love tag on top of it. And I added the other half of that to the coffee photo on the left. Okay, so I'm going to cut out a few of the tags that came in the Life Crafted kit because, of course, I'm going to add tags to this page. I want to be able to add just a few lines of journaling and also some stamping in some places around this page. So tags, labels, that is. Did I say tags? I meant labels. Labels are a great way to do that. It just gives you just a little bit of space, and it doesn't take up so much of your photo that you can't see the subject, but it does give you a little bit of space for some stamping or some journaling, like I said. I love using labels in that way. I think I use them on almost every spread, every pocket page that I do. Okay, so just figuring out where I want to add some sentiments, and thereby adding labels to put those sentiments on. Figuring out kind of final touches here, editing down what I've picked out. Not all of it's going to make it onto the page. It was looking a little bit busy, so I pulled some things off to just help it feel a little bit more balanced. And then I can finally start adhering things. So I'm going to start with that pizza night because I know that's going to go on that photo. I know it's going to stay there. I'm thinking about typing up some of my journaling, so I want to make sure that I leave space for that. And then I'm also looking at the stamp sets because I know I want to add some stamping, and I want to do that before I do much other embellishing, just so that I make sure that I don't, like if you add a chipboard piece, then sometimes it's hard to add a stamp right next to it because of the dimension. So if I do my stamping first, then I don't have that problem. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going through the stamp sets, the one that came in the Life Crafted kit, along with the Traveler's Notebook stamp set and the This Is Life Yes stamp set that I have in my hands right now, and just figuring out which ones I want to use on these cards and photos. There are so many here that would work. So it was a matter of picking the one I thought worked best with the space that I had on the photo or on the card, things like that. So I'm just taking them off their backing sheets and laying them down where I think I want them. I'm not actually stamping anything yet. That's just going to act as a placeholder while I figure out if that's really where I want things to go. And once I do, then I will pull out my ink and kind of scooch things over so I have some space to stamp over to the right hand side. And I'm going to be using gray ink. This is Color Theory. I think it's called Clean Slate. It's kind of my go-to gray ink at the moment, although I will say it's not necessarily my favorite, but it's what I have, so that's what I'm using. I would love to hear your ink suggestions. I recently swatched all of my inks and realized that a lot of them are starting to dry out. They're fairly old, and I'm going to have to start investing in some new inks. So I would love to hear what inks you guys love and get some ideas for which ones to invest in. Okay, so I'm just stamping the sentiments around the page. I stamped one that says "The Way to My Heart" over the top of the love that was printed on that tag, and I really like the way that looks. I'm stamping "I Want This Now" at the bottom of the craving card, and I will add my journaling above that. I stamped "The Heart Wants What the Heart Wants" on the picture of my blue cheese wedge. And "Get in My Belly" I stamped on the one next to our little corn muffins. And I stamped on my Dalgona coffee photo just what I needed. And then this one, this is where that photo is going to go. It says "Craving Right Now," and then it has some options that you can tick off, but none of them were coffee. And I thought at first that I would just add the tiny coffee stamp and kind of create my own little check mark, but I decided instead to add that larger coffee stamp, and it looks kind of like all the rest of them are canceled out with the coffee stamp, and I really kind of like the way that ended up looking. I added "In My Cup" below the little "Need This" banner on the other coffee photo, and I think that is about it. I did stamp directly on that photo, and I print at home, so the paper is made to take ink, so I don't ever have any trouble stamping on my photos, but yeah, it depends on the paper you use, whether it's easy to do that or not. I used to get them printed elsewhere and definitely had to use StazOn ink to stamp on my photos back then, but now that I print at home, I don't have any trouble. Okay, so now I'm just going around and sticking things down. This is kind of the first layer of embellishing, getting everything that I have on the page so far stuck down, and then I'll come back and do some more embellishing after that. I'm just trimming down that coffee photo so that it fits inside that square, that purple square that's on that card. And of course I didn't measure. I'm way too lazy to actually measure that square, so I'm just slowly taking tiny bits off this photo until it fits inside that square. And I got really lucky that I didn't over trim, and it worked out great. Okay, so still just gluing things down. I'm using my Kikuyo tape runner for that. It is definitely one of my favorite adhesives because you can peel it up a little bit right after you glue it down if you get it in the wrong spot, which is always nice for someone like me who is indecisive and has trouble getting things straight the first time. Okay, so still just gluing things down. In a second, I am going to go away and type up my journaling on a few of these cards before I do my final embellishing for this page. So I will go away for a second and I will come back and you will see all of the journaling done just as soon as I get all of these tiny bits glued down. Okay, so there it is. There's my journaling done. Now I can just work on the finishing touches. So I brought in the puffy stickers, which are amazing, and I knew I wanted to use some of these on my page. I just needed to make sure I didn't I left enough space for my journaling first. So I'm going to sprinkle a few of these around here and there. One that says "Gotta have it," one that's like a knife and fork, one that says "This makes me happy," and then I'm also going to add a few of the tiny word stickers just in a couple different places to kind of fill out the embellishment clusters that I have on the page. And then that is just about going to be it. So I'm nearly done, just adding the final touches here. And there are lots of close-up photos coming up. If you want to see all the little details, you can read my journaling, etc. So be sure to stick around for those. And be sure to check out the links in the description box below. I know right now that the Cravings kit is sold out, but you can still get some of the elements digitally, so I'll be sure to link those in the description box. And if you don't want to miss out on these kits, you have to subscribe. So I will leave that link below so that you don't miss out on another kit because they have been going so quickly. Yeah, okay, so that's it for this spread. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some inspiration. If you did, I do appreciate a thumbs up. It lets me know that you like what I'm doing and that I should do more of it. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you back here soon.